Recording. Hang on. Yes, we're recording.
Okay, thank you, Dee Dee. Okay, welcome everybody. It's Wednesday. Wednesday, the 27th of May. Wow, time is going by quickly, isn't it? Okay, so we're coming to you live from our Yangtze Tai Chi Center school here in Redmond. I have, for the past couple of days, been doing a Zoom webinar for my teacher, Master Yang, for the Yang Family Tai Chi virtual classroom. So we finished today and we're rushing home, and actually before we left the school, then I said to Michael, oh, shall we just leave the iPad here for tomorrow? And he said, okay. So then we walked out, and then on halfway home, then he said, oh my gosh, we need the iPad for the class. So we came back to the school. So we're coming live from you, for you at our school. So we'll have use of the mirrors. Okay, so today is High Pat on Horse, and should time permit, which I think it should, we'll go to right separation kick. Okay, so let's go ahead and start practice, and we will start at cross hands. Make sure, if you can, both feet point straight. Feet should be shoulders width apart, meaning that the outside edge of your feet should match the outside edge of your arms. Okay. All right, so we go to embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Okay, so we shift and we turn. Sitting back, we go to embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. And push. Fist under elbow. Turning, turning, turning. Then pushing out to the 3 o'clock direction. Stepping to the corner. We go to fist under elbow. Make sure you make this small circle at the bottom and lift up and punch. Repulse the monkey. Go 1. Second repulse the monkey. Third, repulse the monkey. Then we go to diagonal flying. Raise hands and step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Left knee brush. Needle at the C bottom. Remember, keep that right knee, right foot in line. Fan through the back. Turn body. Chop with fist. Step up. Parry, block, and punch. Step up, grasping the bird's tail. Ward off, right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Cloud hands. 1. Make sure your feet point straight. Feet should be shoulders width apart. 2. Three. Then we go to single whip. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, I can do that. No questions? All right then. Let's go on to the next movement, high pat on horse. Okay, so what are we going to do with our feet? What are we going to do with our feet? Okay, I'll go to the forward direction so so you can have a clearer, you can see more clearly. Okay, so here we are at single whip. We're in a bow stance using our left foot. Okay, so we're going to go into an empty stance using the left ball of our foot. So how do we do that? We're going to shift our weight back, and I want you to rock back on your left heel edge. Pick up your left foot, put the ball of your foot down on the floor, and then push down into the floor. Okay? So again, from here. Okay. Rocking back on my heel edge. Okay, so now the right leg is absorbing pretty much all the weight. Then I'm going to pick up my foot, put the ball of my foot on the floor. Then I'm going to push down into the floor using my bubbling well or the ball of my foot, push down into the floor to get that 30%. Okay? All right, one more time. I'll go the direction that we're going to go to the 9 o'clock direction. Okay. Move weight back, rocking back on the front left heel. Pick up your foot, put the ball of your foot on the floor, and 30%. Okay, so remember, when we're in an empty stance, when you bring your foot back, it should clear your supporting foot. Okay, so when we go to from this bow stance and you rock back, try not to just put your foot back down where it was, because now the spacing, the width between our feet is too wide. So we have to bring this foot in so that then we can be at the center line, two sides, but not going too far away from that center line. Okay, so let's try that again. Move weight back, rocking back on the left heel edge. Pick up your left foot, bring it in a little bit, touch with the ball of your foot. Now, in this position, can you bring your left foot back and have it clear the right foot but not be too far away? Can you look down? Then put your left ball of your foot back out in front and then apply 30%. Does anybody have any questions on this?
Hi, Nancy.
Yes?
When we are putting the weight on that front foot, is it just that we're shifting the weight, or is there still that push support, like that little bit of a push from that back foot so that we're pressing down?
Yeah, we always have to have that push and support. We always have to have that. So when we're here, that's why we push down. We push down into the floor so that we don't propel ourselves forward. So you should feel both feet supporting each other.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Does everybody understand what Kelly's question was on how to, you know, the push and support from our feet? Yeah. We call that dung and chung. My Chinese isn't very good, so I apologize for those, to those that are listening that speak Chinese. So dung and chung is the push and support. So for instance, like when we go into a bow stance, you know, and I put my heel edge on the floor, and as I push my weight forward, once my forward foot is fully on the floor, then my back foot is continually pushing forward, and my front foot is going to give a little bit of pushing back so that I don't propel myself forward. Okay, so that's what the push and support is for. Okay, so any other questions on the footwork? No. Okay, so let's talk about upper body. Okay, so we have this hook hand and the hook arm, which is relatively straight but remember it's not locked. So it's more
Can't
straighter.
see your arm. Can't see
Okay.
your arm. Yeah.
Okay, you cannot see my arm. Can you see my arm now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we have our hook hand, our hook arm like this. Just remember, don't lock your elbow joint. Okay. So, but don't have it look like this. So if you lock it and then put a bend in it, a little bend in it, that's about what we want. Okay. So we have our fingers together for our hook hand, and the hook hand we're bending at the wrist to make sure that the fingers are pointing downward. This is called a wrist. The wrist should be about neck height, okay? So make sure your wrist is about neck height. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We need to change this to a striking arm. So what I want you to do is we're gonna open the hook hand and we're gonna seat the right arm. Okay, so what are we going to do here? From here, I'm going to bend my elbow a little bit, and I'm going to bend my wrist down, and I'm going to open up my palm. So now, if I bring my hand and my arm, if I bend my elbow and bring my hand in front of my shoulder, this is like a left knee brush striking palm position, okay? So from here, open up your hook hand by dropping your elbow, by starting to have the wrist go down, and open up your palm. So now we have this rounded shape here, okay? Then just bend your elbow and bring your right hand to your shoulder. It's going to look like this now. It's going to be a little bit more flatter, okay? Then from here, I want you to think of using this front edge of your hand, and we're going to extend out to strike somebody in the throat. Okay, so now we have this curve, okay, whereas in a knee brush, in a strike, we will have this curve. So the elbow is a little bit more pointed down in a striking position. But in this one, the elbow is going to come up a little bit, but the elbow is still down, just like white crane spreads its wings. So if you lower your arm a little bit, should be about the same, okay? And we're using the edge to strike to the throat area, all right? So again, from here, we're going to seat our arm. And when we seat or sit our arm, now it's taken on this rounded, more rounded shape. Then just bring your hand to in front of your shoulder, and then we're going to extend out to strike, okay, using the hand edge, okay? So what is the left arm doing? The left arm is going to rotate palm facing up because now we want to grab somebody. Okay, we want to grab their wrist, and it's going to come back. When it comes back, it's going to go alongside your rib cage. Okay, alongside your rib cage, and make sure you have space in your left armpit so that the left elbow is kind of pointed along the side. Try not to have your left elbow do this, okay? Don't have it tucked behind you. Make sure you have this shape, okay? Then just bring your left hand in front of you and bring it back in front of you. And this should be an okay space to have, okay? Then the elbow will still be towards the side direction, okay? So when we coordinate these two together, when we're like this, we're not going to use our feet yet, okay? So when the right arm starts to sit, the left arm starts to rotate, palm facing up. Then the right hand's going to come to the shoulder. The left arm's going to wait a little bit. Then from here, the right arm's going to come forward and the left arm is going to go back, all right? Now remember, we need to keep this shape. So try not to go too far forward and have your fingers point forward. When we strike, we're striking straight forward and there's going to be a curve here, okay? So the right hand fingers should kind of be like maybe a little bit over your center when you bring it back because we're striking to the throat. So if we put it all together, Okay, I'm going to go straight to the camera, Michael, so they can see straight on. Okay, okay, so he wants me to back up. Okay, all right. So from here, we're at single whip. As I move my weight back and rock back on my heel edge, left heel edge, I'm going to open up my hook hand, rotate my left arm, and bring my right hand to the shoulder. I'm going to pick up my foot and I'm going to put the ball of my foot on the floor. Now I'm going to apply the 30%. As I shift my weight and push down on the left ball of my foot, my right arm comes forward and my left arm comes back. So we end up in this position. Now, one of the big mistakes people make when we go into an empty stance is to come too far forward. So from here, what they'll do is they'll do this, and they'll come too far forward. Okay, so see how forward my body is. Okay, so we need to make sure still that we have this shape. So if you go into an empty stance using the ball of your foot and have your arms go in the shape that they need, then this is the shape that we want. What you can do is we can fold a little bit at the hip joints forward, like white crane spreads its wings, to go into this movement. But I need to caution you to not move too much weight forward. Now the full and empty have reversed, where more of the weight is in the front leg than in the back leg, and our body's too far forward. Okay, so we need to make sure that we keep the majority of the weight in the back leg and that we are pushing down into the floor with the front ball of the foot. Okay, so let's try this again. Can you guys see me here? In single
Move
whip?
to the left. Good.
Okay, all right, so from here, we're going to shift our weight back. We're going to rock back on the left heel edge. When we do, we're going to open up the hook hand. We're going to rotate the left arm. We're going to bring the right hand to the shoulder. Now, out here, I want you to notice your shoulders. Your shoulders should still be open. Okay, they haven't gone square yet. Change your footwork. Okay, now as we strike forward with the right hand and the left hand comes back to our left side rib cage area, we're going to square our body forward. Okay, squaring the body forward, and make sure that you're clear that the majority of your weight is on the back leg, and make sure also that your back leg knee is in line with your back foot. Okay, so if you do this movement, and when you do it, when you go like this, now you're misaligning your knee from the foot, and so what you're doing is you're misaligning yourself, and potentially going to cause some problems with these joint areas and the muscles that work with them. So we have to be really careful about that. Okay, so let's go back to this movement from single whip. Okay, in single whip, we know our shoulders are more than corner, less than straight. Okay, looking straight forward. Torso should be straight up and down. All right, so we're going to move weight back. When we do, we're going to rock back on the left heel edge, opening up that hook hand, rotating the left arm, right hand to the shoulder. Pick up your left foot, touch with the ball of your foot. Now we're going to square the shoulders forward as the right arm comes forward and the left arm goes back. Do you have your 70% of your weight in the back leg? Is the left heel off of the floor? Okay. Are your shoulders square forward? Is your right arm rounded, or is it more like straighter? Make sure you have this round curve, okay? Just like white crane spreads its wings, okay? All right, let's try that again. From here. Okay, this is called high pat on horse. So, rocking back, open up your hook hand, rotating the left arm, bring the right hand to the shoulder, pick up your left foot, put the ball of your foot on the floor. Then, striking forward, pressing down or pushing down with the left ball of the foot, squaring the shoulders forward, and now we have our end posture. How's this movement?
Nancy?
Yes?
Can you address where the left hand ends up? Is it close to the center line of your tummy? Is it just over the hip? Where is that left hand ending?
Well, that's a pretty good question. This is Kathy, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So here, the arm we say is in front of us, in front of the shoulder. Okay.
yeah.
If you bring it in and bend your elbow and your elbow is going towards the side and bring it here, it should be on this side of your rib cage. Okay.
Okay.
Of your breastbone area here. So if you think of your breastbone as the center, it's just a little bit past that center.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So if we come here, Michael. So if we look on at this movement on how we would use it. Okay. Okay. So here I am at single whip, and with Michael's right hand, if he makes a fist, okay, and he comes to hit towards me, see how my arm needs to rotate in order to grab, okay? Then from here, I'm going to rock back on my left heel. Then from here, I change my footwork, okay? His fist is coming forward, okay? So we always want to encourage them to come to the direction that they're coming. We don't try to stop them. We kind of connect softly and then we yield to them, all right? So then from here, I would bring him in and I would hit him in the throat, okay? So when I bring him in and hit him in the throat, if I let go, it would look like this,
Oh, yeah.
okay? So if you think of bringing somebody in, bringing them in with this left hand, left arm, okay? You could also, Michael says, grab them, by the shirt or whatever. But and then striking, then it should end up in the right, around the right area. So I don't want this too much at your side, okay? Why? So if you have your arm, if we go into our body shape and you bring this left arm back, okay? This is about where it should be. Okay, so now we have the essentials in play. Okay, so I'm doing a class on the essentials. So I want you to pay attention to your shoulders now. So when we move this arm back or to more along the side, I want you to notice what happens to your shoulder. Okay, so now the shoulder starts to open up. We need to make sure that the chest stays slightly concaved in and that we're rounding our back. So now what happens in this position is that the shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade starts to come inward. So what we want is to make sure that the chest is slightly concaved in. We have this shape. So this would be our end posture, all right? Making sure that the shoulder, the chest is slightly concaved in. The shoulders are not going past our sides. We're not going to the side here. And even if it was at the side and the elbow comes up like this, then it's still not the right body shape, okay? So we need to make sure that we have the correct body shape. So this actually, the position of the left hand is really important, Kathy. So I'm glad that you brought this up.
Thank you so.
You're welcome. So, when we connect here, then if you just draw your arm back, now our shoulders are going to be turning, so it's going to kind of match our area that we need to go to pretty well. So, so by using the middle body, then we have, one going forward, one coming back. So, we have the yin yang in the house, and we have, the striking. What we're doing is trying to strike to the throat or the Adam's apple area to kind of set that back, and while controlling the arm. So, okay, so let's try this again from single whip. I'll go your same direction. Okay, so we look like this. We go to high pat on horse, shifting back on the, rocking back on the left heel edge, opening up the left arm, bring the right hand to your shoulder, change your footwork. Then right arm forward, left arm down. Make sure that you feel pushing down into the floor with the left ball of your foot. Okay, so let me give you another tip here. Sometimes what happens is when people do this movement, actually I'm going to have my back to you. Okay, so say I'm like this. And I do high pat on horse. When I rock back, then sometimes we get into this leaning position, okay? See, now here's my body shape. I'm leaning back, so now my center of balance is going to the back direction. So when we do this footwork, I need for you to make sure that you're still stacked upward, okay? Keeping the head up, so that then when you lift up your foot and put the ball of your foot on the floor, then you haven't altered your body position, your upper body position, okay? Oftentimes people in this high pat on horse position, you know, they come back and they'll lean back, okay? And then they may go, you know, back into the right position at the end. So I need for you to really pay attention to keeping your torso stacked over your hips and your legs. So let's try this again. We're going to keep that in mind, okay? So from here, shift your weight back, rocking back on the heel, open up your arms, bring the right hand to your shoulder. Now, when your right hand is in front of your shoulder, did you change your torso, or are you still here in your body shape? Then pick up your foot and put the ball of your foot on the floor, and then go to high pat on horse, okay? So, anybody have any questions on this?
Nancy, can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can.
Just an observation. If I was feeling my knee twist until I was consciously pushing slightly into the floor with my back foot. If I don't do that, my knee twists with my body.
Okay, are you talking about your right knee or your left knee?
My right knee.
Yeah, okay. So what happens is that we have to make sure that we are able to separate from our hip down to our hips up, okay? And that leaves the middle part. So when we do this movement and when we rock back, if we change the direction of our shoulders and take our hips with us, then what's going to happen is now this knee, see how this knee's coming in now? And then when I go here and when I push down, if I turn my hips again, now they're in a good position. So I need for you to keep your hips in the same position so that they're not changing back and forth. Okay, so by that I mean, can you see me okay, Sharon? Donna? Okay, so
Yes.
when I rock back, see my hips? I pick up my foot and I place it here. They really haven't changed that much.
Right.
So the thing to that we have with this movement, along with other movements like a knee brush. Oftentimes, you know, we'll have students do a knee brush and they'll go like this. Okay, so when you go like this and push too far forward, now that's pulling this side of your hip in a wrong direction, and now my knee is no longer in line with my foot. So in order to help ourselves not hurt ourselves is when we have to pay attention to the alignment of the knees. Okay, all right. So Michael was because I can't see you, so he's giving me some feedback on what he was seeing. Okay. So when we strike, so say for instance, everything's good here. Okay, so we've changed our footwork, everything's good here. When we strike, I'll go this direction. When we strike, try not to take your hips with you. Just
So it's just the
it's
upper.
just the upper body. It's just the upper body. So
That's good. Thank
this
you.
is one of the more challenging aspects of Tai Chi. And if we think about the essentials and we think about how do we separate lower body, upper body with the middle body, okay? So this is just, we could take maybe, you know, 3 or 4 days talking about this all day long and still walk away going, okay, I think I got it, but I'm still not kind of sure, hopefully. But anyway, so try not to take your hips with you. The hips need to still follow like the back foot direction. you know, not saying that they will not move. They can move a little bit. However, you don't want to move your hips so much that they then misalign with the foot.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. So
yes, thank you.
so it's vital. This is really, really important because, you know, as we are aging, as I speak, you know, we start developing different things going on in our body. One of them is like, you know, having uncomfortableness in our joints and things like that. Well, if we don't properly align, then what is happening is that we are encouraging discomfort and potential pain down the road for our body parts, and we don't want that. So in order to prevent that, especially in our empty stances, your back leg knee needs to follow your back leg foot.
Thank you.
So when we have movements like needle at sea bottom, you know, oftentimes we have students doing this. If you watch this knee, it's in line right now. But when I do needle at sea bottom, because now I'm going to take my hips with me, I'm going to now start turning in my hip, and now it's misaligned. So you're really lucky if your body says, "Excuse me, what are you doing? That doesn't feel so good. You know, can you fix that for me?" Or when we have, you know, snake creeps down. When we do snake creeps down and we shift our weight back, we need to make sure that this knee follows this foot. So this is vital in making sure that we are correctly aligned and that we have correct body posture. So correct body posture, correct body alignment, then, you know, hopefully things fall more into place. So anyway, hopefully that answered your question. Okay, all right, 2 thumbs up. All right, so let's practice that again. And we'll go from single whip to high pat on horse, or, you know, they say pat the high horse. Okay, so from here, all right, we're going to rock back on our left heel edge. As we do, we're going to open up both of our arms, rotating, right hand to the shoulder. Okay, then change your footwork. Using your upper body, we're going to turn the shoulders square, keeping the knee in line with the foot. Right arm comes forward, pressing down into the floor. Left hand coming back. All right, so the other flaw that some people have, none of you here today, but for some other people out there, is they'll do this movement like this. They'll rock back, and then they'll do this. Don't stand up. Don't extend this right leg and then back down, okay? So we need to keep ourselves in a seated position. Seated position meaning, you know, my knee's bent now, it needs to stay bent. So don't stand up when you reposition your left foot, okay? So let's try this again and kind of pay attention to that part, all right? So from single whip, all right, moving weight back, rotating the arms, right hand to the shoulder. Okay, now don't stand up. Just pick up your left foot, put the ball of your foot on the floor, and then go into your 30% forward, 70% in the back. Okay, how's this? Anybody have any questions? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take it from single whip, and then we're going to go single whip, cloud hands, single whip, high pat on horse. Okay? So here we are at single whip. I'm sorry? Here? Okay, can everybody see me here?
Yep.
Okay, all right, from here, we go to cloud hands, shift back, turn. Grabbing and pulling. Stepping in, shoulders width apart, feet point straight. 2. 3. Go to single whip. High pat on horse. Rotate the arms, change your footwork, then thrust forward. Okay, let's try it one more time. From here. Cloud hands, turning, shifting to the left, step, shift to the right. Step, circle your arms, grabbing and pulling. Let's see. Let's go to number 3. And making the crooked step, go to single whip, high pad on horse, rocking back, don't stand up, apply 30%. Okay, now here, stay in your empty stance. Extend your arms out. Do you have your body shape? The correct answer should be yes. Okay? All right, does anyone have any questions? Okay, so your job this week is to practice that sequence, okay? Single whip to cloud hands to single whip to high pad on horse. We did not make it to separation kick today, but we'll do that next week. That's kind of a pretty juicy movement, a little more so than high pad on horse. It's just different. So we'll work on that next week. And in the meantime, you know, just practice this new movement, high pad on horse, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Anybody have any questions before we stop? That's a no? Okay. We'll close class. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. It's a beautiful day here in Seattle, so we're going to go and drive back home and enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Betsy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dee Dee.